a lot earlier early game. They need a lot better early game really to deal with the early game aggression and the early game winning that really BTN did in the first game. So we'll have to definitely see here into picks and bans, as you can now see. And Skarner, the first ban again from LDP, but I don't know, that Rammus was definitely very effective. He didn't really have to do too much because Fizz just became so powerful so quickly. And really, BTN, I don't think need to change their bans up at all. It'll be interesting to see if they do. Nope, Corki the first ban out here. We see the Akali banned again as well. And I think that Corki is really smart. It's a very strong mid-game champion, and their AD carry is very comfortable with it on the side of LDP, as he has shown before. And their jungler is very comfortable on Kha'Zix as well. They're taking out so much of LDP's hope for early mid-game aggression here. It'll be interesting. Lucian actually banned on the side of LDP, obviously not wanting to play it themselves and not wanting to let BTN get it either. So interesting to see what they first pick here with the Lucian now banned. And, well, definitely just be interesting, but see what BTN, they don't change up the bans at all. They really didn't have to. Zed being the final ban. And the Tristana, the hover here for LDP, but it wasn't that good in game one. It was ineffective, and really poor engage times stopped Tristana from getting through the bad early game and iffy mid game, and it let the Lucian get too far ahead. Now by banning the Lucian, you take out one of those things, but they are going to go for it again. Tristana's already looking at a late game comp here for LDP, kind of whatever else you pick, because it's going to take a while for the Tristana to scale up. And as we saw in game one, LDP didn't survive to the late game to give Tristana the time to scale up, to give Tristana the time to ramp up to being the damage dealer. And if it's against a Kog'Maw here, both of them are late game, but it looked like on the side of BTN, they were definitely able to get to that late game a little quicker, but the Varus lock-in instead. Have to see what this Varus goes build-wise. The Morgana support here for BTN is they lock in their entire bot lane with that pick, and we'll have to see what LDP look to do to counter this. They're kind of hovering the Jace and the Lee Sin. They definitely do need something of a poke comp here, because they can't team fight against this team. It was kind of shown in the first game. So a Jace would honestly be a very smart pick, even if it's a blind pick, because the amount of poke that a Jace can create at any time would be so helpful for this team. But the Wukong locked in again. It was a very good performance by their top laner on Wukong in that last game, and you have to think that's where it's headed again with the Lee Sin lock-in as well, because that Lee Sin is most likely going to be looking to go in the jungle. And the Wukong was really effective. The only time it really stuttered any was going against a Rumble with the under full health and getting beat, and then getting, I don't even want to know if it was outplayed as much as outdamaged by the Lucian in that 1-for-1 duel, or the 1v1 duel up top towards the end of the game. And the Rammus was very effective for BTN. I would not be surprised to see it again. And if they go Jace here, I am very worried for LDP about trying to pull this game out, because you're just giving a team that out team fought you big time in the last game a good bit of a poke comp here. But Rammus locked in again. It was definitely more than okay last game. A couple of times he was just kind of wandering around the map, and he kind of missed an opportunity to do something, or he was too late somewhere. But definitely a very good performance, still taunting the right people. A couple of brilliant flash flashing the Nami bubbles to get into range of the Tristana. And the Nami lock-in again here from LDP. I admire their... I guess I'd call it, I admire their staying with a kind of team comp. Ziggs would definitely be a better thing there here, though, I think, for their mid lane. A much safer pick. Can wave clear very effectively, can kind of sit in base and stop this BTN team from getting back, from getting quickly into the base and getting another 17-minute inhibitor. And it will be the Ziggs for the mid lane. So definitely a better pick, I think, for LDP. But, oh, Vigar. That would be an interesting pick. That could be a top lane Jace. I mean, that's not going to have to be a mid lane. I think it would be worse for Ziggs if it was a mid lane Jace. But it's going to be worse for Wukong otherwise. So definitely have to see what's going on here. Wukong looking to bring Ignite again. I just kind of want to touch on that no teleport here. So this BTN team can appear around the map very quickly. Jace can TP in. Rammus, with that speedy ball of his, can show up from base to lane quickly, about at the same time to teleport. And the Syndra, the final lock-in here for BTN, that is such a lot of poke damage. Yes, you have the Ziggs wave clear. Yes, you have the Tristana. And you have Lee Sin and Wukong engages with a little bit of a Nami engage, but the amount of poke, the Jace shots coming through, the Morgana shots coming through, if you get stunned up, you're going to go down quickly, and they have multiple stuns, the Syndra stun, the Rammus stun, the Morgana Dark Bindings. This is a terrifying comp to go against here if you're on the side of LDP, and I'm curious to see how they play this, because again, this comp needs a little bit of time, and they just didn't have any last game. They were down 10k gold by 17 minutes. But you can see the comps. You see Nami with the late kind of last minute switch over. Ziggs goes to barrier. Nami goes to the Ignite. So a very aggressive bot lane here. Kind of aggressive summoners all around for LDP. But anyway, guys, we got about the 2-minute spectator delay. So I'm actually going to put the music back on for a minute and take a bit of a break. So I will see you guys in about 2 minutes. I will be back towards the end of the spectator delay. See you guys shortly. Alright guys, welcome back. Or I am back. Y'all have probably been here. But thank you for being patient for a second. Water break for me. Because I can only talk for X amount of time before I feel like, I don't know, not talking again for a few minutes. So, see here, about 4 seconds away, we were going to get into this game. Just a minute. But anyway, you saw the comps. I kind of been talking about it. I'm kind of worried here for LDP what they're going to do about this poke comp that BTN decided they were going to run with this second game. It's a lot It's a lot more scary than what they faced in game one, and they didn't handle that game one matchup very well. And with the amount of poke on the side of BTN this time, I really don't see an easy way for... Excuse me for a second. I don't see an easy way for LDP to take control that like they really are going to need to, because if BTN gets ahead with this poke comp, they're just going to be able to sit at sieging turrets and poke you down until you have to back away and then take the turret from you. So kind of standard starts, wow. Cool, same starts completely across the board. No differences in the items between anybody. Okay then, that's cool. And they went to different sides of the maps. Different sides of the maps? We're playing multiple maps. That's the newest thing in League, guys. Multiple maps. Tristana getting a couple of cheeky autos here on the Rammus. And he has to be careful, though, because he did see those wards go down, but the Dark Binding's going to hit, and there's going to be a lot of damage going through early. Ziggs is going to get hit up a little bit, and what did I say about poke comps being scary against a team that went behind early again? That happens. But we'll definitely have to see what, if anything, BTN looks to do with that little bit of poke comp that was just, they got to see the poke comp up close a little bit earlier than I think they really wanted to. They will see what, they will know if Rammus starts on the top side of the map though with that ward, and by not seeing him yet, you have to think that he's going to start bottom side. Lee Sin's going to start on his blue, and we see standard lanes again, but apparently those trees aren't as thick as we thought. Lee Sin, quit blowing my mind. I need to talk. But and blue start for both junglers here. Standard lanes, yeah. Syndra has a CS. I'm not sure what that's from. Well, Syndra was in lane the whole time. Okay, Syndra didn't go help Leash. Scummy mid laner is scummy, but definitely have to see here because yes, Ziggs can CS, but Syndra is one that as soon as level 6 gets hit, that Ziggs is going to be taken. Look at level 6 doesn't even have to be hit. Syndra's just deciding this is going to be my lane and already kind of pushing Ziggs out a little bit. We'll have to see Varus against Tristana. Not entirely sure how this lane goes, but again, LDP's bot lane hits 2 first, but this time they don't go straight in on it. And this, at least it guarantees no first blood that way again. But we see Jace already bullying this lane out hard and turning right around onto Wukong, doing quite a bit of damage and forcing Wukong away. Nice switch there, and that's going to be a tough lane for Wukong. Rammus is coming down as well. They might just tower dive Wukong at this point in the game. Dark Binding lands onto Nami. The bubble is going to miss, and Varus is going to take Nami low, but with this sustain and with pots, Nami can still stay around for a little bit. You just kind of really need to stay behind minions here and avoid any dark bindings. Remus goes in. They finally send. Ziggs is there as well, and Syndra was not there. Syndra's coming around now, but who's going to get first blood? First blood goes to Ziggs as he gets it. Syndra does get the kill and gets double buffs, but the double kill for Ziggs and blue buff transfer complete. Double buff transfer complete onto Ziggs. Early 2-for-1 with the first blood going to Ziggs as well. Jason's coming around. That was a pretty good sized shot there. Leaves Ziggs flashing red, but not dead yet. And it's giving Wukong some time to CS here in that top lane and start catching up a little bit, which is exactly what he needed at this point, honestly. He was starting to fall behind enough that Jace can do this and just roam around. Nami, you see, heals up most of what the damage from earlier from that trade. And Wukong, or Ziggs already with a Chalice, and compared to the Fiendish Codex, definitely a bit more stay in lane from Ziggs here and a bit more damage here from Syndra, so kind of showing what they want to do early. And we'll have to see. Wukong's going in onto Jace. Since Jace came back to the lane, though, he is ahead in CS. But Wukong actually getting the better end of that trade. If that Shock Blast would have hit full power, then that might have been a different story. But good play there from Wukong. Still won the trade, I guess, arguably. And Remus is going Wriggles okay. Yeah, as he would say, okay. We saw last game, he went Moby Boots into the Elder Lizard. Tristana going in, not really getting the... Oh, Remus is coming in from behind him. Tristana's gonna get stunned up and locked up. Nami gets killed. Tristana trying to get one kill back for it. No, Tristana will not get the kill. Morgana gets the second one. And that was a 2-for-0 there. Wonderfully played by the Remus to go around the back. Morgana looking like missed the attack, but really was just kind of baiting. And wonderfully played there from BTN. Gonna give Varus a little bit of free time in this bot lane. And Lee Sin's trying to do something here in this mid lane, but Ziggs has the wave so far pushed up that Lee Sin really can't do anything. And he's just going to go into his jungle. We see in this top lane, Jace continuing to win the lane. Since he gave Wukong a little bit of freedom by leaving, but since he's been back, it's definitely been all Jace. Ziggs is starting to hold own a little bit in this lane, but missing those bombs against a now level 6 Syndra needs to be a little worrisome. Remus is around, but isn't going to actually attempt to go into the lane any, and Wukong here getting forced back by Jace, and Jace just going to kind of poke away and try and do some damage to the turret. Morgana's around the side here for BTN, and Lee Sin's trying to come around to show, but Remus might take this opportunity in mid. Ziggs is just trying to wave clear. The stun misses, but in comes Remus to bouncing bombs. What? Okay. The Cinder ult didn't quite take him down, but Remus getting the final hit there. And the Ziggs didn't really do much of anything there. He got locked up by 3 people. That chain CC is real, and Cinder even missed the stun. The amount of CC from one person, if the Dark Binding hits, if you get the Remus taunt, and you get the Cinder stun, you're not going to go anywhere before you die. So, good little bit of damage from the Tormented Soul there on Nami, but Nami's just going to force him away. Tristana is doing a lot better in this laning phase, holding even, and Wukong's trying to kind of climb his way up. He is 6 now, so the Cyclone hit has to be a bit worrisome. And Lee Sin's coming in here as well. This Jace, if he pushes up, might get jumped on, and he's at pretty low health. Remus having to back after getting taken low by the blue. I'm really glad that was only taken low. Jace seeming to have a sense, though, that someone's up there because he's playing very safe. Tristana putting on a few dancing shoes there to miss the Dark Binding. Otherwise, that could have been a bit of a scary story. And now under turret, let's see if Jace pushes up, and Lee Sin's found his way into that full full brush, and we'll have to see. Wukong's jumping in. Cyclone goes. Lee Sin goes in. Flashes away from the Jace, but Lee Sin lands the Q and goes in and gets the kill. Very nicely done. One turret shot, I think, went on to Wukong and one on to Lee Sin. But nicely done there. Ziggs gets a bit of a stun onto Syndra. Syndra misses the stun there. Misses the bouncing bombs, though, and that mitigates a lot of the Ziggs damage. And Tristan's just going to kind of walk away from that. Or Syndra's just going to kind of walk away from that. And Ziggs, they traded about even health, but Ziggs is a lot lower on mana. They both have the same exact items, so wow, the Varus damage, nicely done. Changed a corruption walking down, and this might be a double kill. We see the Morgana ult going down. It's not even going to have to be popped because double kill for Varus. 3-0-1 at this point, and that was just wonderfully played there. Tristana got taken down to half in the blink of an eye. Lee Sin's going in. He flashes in. He gets the slow. He gets the Q and shuts down the Varus. Nicely done. But in comes a Remus. He's not going to quite get there. Oh, the taunt. Oh, the Dark Binding just misses. Remus is going for it. Lee Sin's going to ward hop away. Remus is going to take a few tower shots and just back away. But nicely done there from Lee Sin to survive the taunt, survive the stun. Wukong just going in again, but as I said, this time I don't know how much Jace is going to be messing with. I don't think I had the tier for long, though. It's just started really stacking. Ziggs not quite hitting the bouncing bombs, but Syndra not punishing with stun. So really no harm, no foul on either side here. And Remus, I understand you want the ward from Cloak Coats, but you have 2 jungle items, buddy. Oh, the flash Syndra stun into the ult. Yeah. Flash Syndra stun into an ult. Yeah, you're dead. Wow, though, that got blown up quickly, and good kill for Syndra. Really trying to start clearing some of the damage here coming out from Ziggs, and down 20 CS now. Syndra really taking control of this lane, and Varus in control of this lane and bot lane now. 10 CS ahead with the kills. In comes Rammus. They get the chain CC for days. They get the heal burn from Tristana, but it is not enough, and Nami goes down. Another kill into Varus at this point in the game. And look at the poke from Jace in the top lane. He's nearly full health, and Wukong is flashing red. This is extremely worrisome here for Lee Sin. He backed away very quickly because that was a bit scary. But wow, this comp from BTN, the chain CC and the poke is terrifying. Remus just scaring Lee Sin away from the pink ward, rolling in there. Is Lee Sin gonna try something? Morgana's still there. Oh, there's Morgana might be a little caught out now. Good Dark Binding. Tristana's there, but Nami, it's a 3v3 down here. Lee Sin just missing the Q, and I think that'll mitigate really anything that any team can try and do there. Nami getting the ward clear. Morgana's just replaces it. But at this point, LDP is too far behind. Again, they're almost 2K. The flash taunt from Remus, that's a Syndra ult. Not quite going to be enough. They don't have Ignite to burn. And that is going to be Ziggs escaping with very low health. Lee Sin jumping in with his Q. I think that was a flash from Tristana. No, just the rocket jump. It was a flash from someone. I thought I heard the flash animation. I think it was Morgana flashing out. Yes, it was. But the least... No, one ult for a flash. I think that's a bit of a better trade here for BTN at this point. And Wukong trying to go in a little bit, but I'm definitely curious. I don't think I've seen a Ziggs ult yet, and I'm curious to see where he sends the first one, but because that Ziggs ult can either start a fight or it can pick up a few kills after one, but we've really seen no turrets gone down yet. Over 13 minutes. The laning phases are, except for in mid lane, a lot more even than they were last game, which is a better sign for LDP, but because you kind of want Tristana to at least have a freaking like infinity edge once you start getting into those fights, but at the same time you're up against quite a lot of poke here and quite a lot of CC. Whoever they pick is gonna die, and look at how hard that Varus is hitting already. Tristana taken down to half health just from a little bit of poke. Stun lands, in comes Rammus. He's coming in from the Powerball. He gets the taunt in. Syndra does have the ult. And will take down Ziggs. The huge bomb ult from Ziggs. The Mega Inferno bomb. Not quite able to do the damage to Rammus to take him down. And Lee Sin's hovering in the wings here. He's going to jump to Nami. The Q goes onto Morgana. Gets the exhaust down though onto Lee Sin. He's going to keep chasing. The bubble gets flashed away by Varus, and they're going to get out of here. They can't chase this under turret, and does burn the flash, does burn the exhaust, but gets out of a 3v2, and the first turret goes down in mid lane. Syndra able to pick that one up. Both mid laners have the Athenes at this point, and Lee Sin gets stunned up trying to go for the Q. Oh, Wukong's there. He's not going to quite do all the damage. In comes Rammus, but he's just going to kind of roll in. I don't think he's really going to... Well, he rolls into a Wukong. He gets the taunt down, but there's no one on his team around close enough. And they're two-manning this dragon. This would be huge for LDP at this point to get this dragon, get some gold in here. They're trying to come in. Rammus isn't going to quite get in quick enough. He's going to get jumped on by Wukong, but just some damage done. And they trade a turret for dragon as the gold stays at about a 3k deficit here for LDP. And Jace is just going to keep pushing. We see he's got the... I believe the Manumune. Yep. The Manumune's completed. He's looking to keep charging that up. I didn't see how many stacks he was at. Just about a third way stacked here. We have Varus with the IE right now, and at 4-1-1, he's the one that's kind of carrying this game. Even though I say that, but Syndra is 3-1-1 as well. Tristana not yet with the kill. Doesn't have the IE yet. Ziggs with 2 kills but 3 deaths. Lee Sin's got such an influx of the gold for LDP at this point. They're going to get their third turret before BTN gets their third turret before LDP can answer. The chain CC again from this bot lane. Good Black Shield's going to stop the tidal wave from doing anything there. And Lee Sin was there, but stun landing from Syndra. Is Syndra going to go in on this? Getting the last little bit. Does have ult. Let's see if they attempt the tower dive, but instead, you know, we go to CSing in the bot lane. Woo! Most important thing in the game right here, folks. Not that skirmish in mid, but Syndra didn't use ult, didn't try and force anything under turret. Nice dark binding onto Nami, but good bubble will stop Varus from really getting in and doing a bunch of damage. Meanwhile, in top lane, Wukong getting the turret down and going in on Jace, but Jace returning the damage. Wukong gets the last little bit of hits there to put Jace down, but oh, Nami's caught in a bad place. Tries to use the bubble, and this is going to be very, very bad. There goes one for Rammus, or there goes one for Varus. Varus gets the second. Rammus was in there to help with the CC. Tristana actually does pick up a kill on the Morgana over the wall, but still a 2-for-1 trade and a better trade again for BTN. Just over 17 minutes into this game, they're going to get a lot of damage onto this bottom second turret. So starting to just take control of this game again. Tristana now able to finish up the IE. I think they're just going to stick around for this turret, and they will. That's the 4th turret of the game here for BTN. And Lee Sin's at half health. Wukong isn't at half, but is low. Pretty much too low to think about cycloning into the fight. So we'll definitely have to see what happens here for LDP, as they're just trying to get some vision control back of their jungle. Meanwhile, Jace is just kind of free farming up in that top lane. He hadn't farmed a lot. He's at 140, but he has farmed enough. Lee Sin's going to land the Q, but not go in on it. And that's probably a good thing. There was a Remus waiting in the bush if he tried to. But definitely have to see. This Varus, though, at 6-1-1, he's got the IE. He's got the Zeal. Good. Well, and you just have a Jace that pushed all the way down to pick up another tier 2. Mega Inferno Bomb's going to come into wave clear. Lee Sin's there. There's a Wukong that's going to jump over. Cyclone burned. Flash in from Wukong there, and they're going to get the kill. Wukong picking it up. 3 people got assist on that. Okay. And meanwhile, Tristana also picking up a turret. So nice little influx of gold there for LDP at this point. Only down 4,000, but it's 5 turrets to 2. And Dragon's going to be up in just under 2 minutes. That's really where I think the next fight's going to happen. And if it's a huge team fight, I like BTN's chances over LDP's at this point. And that's a very bad thing for LDP because they need to tunnel this until Tristana can get to solo carrying this game. But who are you going to go after? This Jace is going to be able to poke you down. The chain CC, if anyone tries to go in, is insane. Lee Sin's going to try and go in for a kick, and you have a Rammus taunt, you have a Syndra stun, you have the Chain Corruption from Varus, you have the Dark Binding from Morgana. You go in at all, and you're going to be taken out before you can do what you tried to go in for. And BTN know this, and they're just pushing down mid lane. This is the last turret not in base here for LDP, and they really need to defend this. But they might be too far behind too. And look at how quickly that turret goes down. Oh, Tristana. Look at that, was the poke. Wukong tries to go in with the Cyclone, but just kind of forces them away a little bit. Again, tries to go in for Varus, but he just returns that damage. Lee Sin getting hit with the Dark Binding and a Shock Blast and taken down to half health. Syndra landing a little poke shot on the Nami there, and the sieging team has better health here. Wow, Zig's taken solo. Chain of Corruption's not going to hit anybody. Or, excuse me, hits Lee Sin. Lee Sin's going to go down to Jace. A lot of AoE damage here. Tristana gets one. Tristana getting the reset. Gets the double kill. Rammus gets one, though. Syndra's coming in from full health from the backside. Lands the ult onto Ziggs. Ziggs is going to go down. Nami's going to go down as well. Double kill for Syndra. And a 2-for-4 trade there for BTN. And that looked like a very good fight with all the AoE from... The amount of AoE on the side of LDP is about the only reason that was a 4-for-2 and not a 4-for-none. So, very good use of the AoE, getting the Ziggs bomb, getting these... what else did they use? They used a lot in that fight, but it's Dragon for BTN here, and it's just going to push the gold lead to over 7k. And yes, that was a bit of a good use of AoE, and a good bit of... Oh, Syndra just going to land a bit of cheeky damage there. Oh, but Lee Sin taking a bit of poke. Tristana trying to jump around there. Nami, wow, they catch Rammus out and he goes down. The real Wukong does get hit up. That was a wonderful used Dark Binding there from Morgana to lock the actual Wukong up. And Varus just pot shots with that Stag Shiv, and that IE at this point is doing so much damage. You see Syndra as well looking to blow someone up with that DFG. Is that home guards on the Moby Boots for Rammus? He is going to come flying out of base in ball form. Wukong adding to the AoE with the Hydra. We'll have to see. It looks like Tristana going for the Shiv second item as well. Really needs to start, I think, doing a little more damage, because we was able to pick up the double kill and the resets in that last fight, but it wasn't enough. So what do you do here if you're on the side of LDP? You're down 8,000 gold at this point. You're down 7 kills, 4 turrets. You're down items across the board, and you're down a game. And you're down in vision. Let's not forget about that one. There's not very much here that LDP do that BTN don't know about. And the amount of poke here is just going to keep getting worse. Thornmail onto Rammus. Okay. But who do you target? Anyone that LDP tries to jump in with is just going to get stunned up and not going to do what they're trying to do. And 24-minute Baron start out here. This is completely blind here for LDP. I don't think they have any idea this is going on. It gets pinged out. But Tristan's in the bot lane, and they've got 3 members coming from base. This is going to be a free Baron for BTN. And at 24 minutes, they take it down easily, getting a 9,000 gold lead and are going to get out without really any worry. And that about shows how far behind LDP are in this game. Tristana was in the bot lane trying to get a little bit of free farm, trying to get a little bit of wave push going. And the other members of LDP were just coming from base. That was a wonderfully executed call there from BTN to pick really the perfect time to do that. Now we see Syndra with the death cap as well. That's going to be doing damage, and that's going to be blowing someone up. Jace getting the last whisper. There's not too much armor really though on the side of LDP to cut through, but still a little bit of AP, and you have, I guess,
team's turret has been destroyed.